Hi there. Thank you for coming. Right, disclaimers ahoy at the beginning of this video, right? I'll do the normal disclaimers first. These are just my thoughts and opinions, okay? I'm not a legal professional. I'm just talking about what I feel the logic of this is and the things that are coming into my brain personally. I speak on behalf of nobody else. Also, disclaimer, I swear, right? Especially when it comes to wrong-uns. No, I swear anyway. Like, literally, I'd swear if I was ordering takeaway. Right, so major disclaimer, do not watch this video if you are weak of stomach. This is the worst thing that I've seen since Jimmy Savile, right? This is as far as I'm concerned, this is Jimmy Savile-esque level of what the fuck is going on in your head. I'll read you the news article first. A warning. This is about abuse of animals, like in the worst way. You do not want to listen to this even though it's me. And occasionally I'll make a gag because I can't fucking help myself. Right. Let's see if I can find the actual... right. So this is about this guy called Adam Britton. And I watched a video on this yesterday. It's not something that I've seen in the mainstream. Apparently it was reported on in the BBC. I found today because I've had a little look about, but not much. No rabbit holes, not on this cunt anyway. Although, from what I've seen, I have my opinion. I have some opinions, right? Which is just me overthinking everything, obviously. So anyway, this guy lives in Australia. His name's Adam Britton. He's English. And he's been sentenced to more than 10 years. 10 years, 5 months, I think. Pretty specific. Backdated to when he was arrested. That's nice of him. In prison for bestiality and animal cruelty crimes. Now I'll just pop over to his Wikipedia page here and see what it says. It says his convictions: animal abuse, sexual abuse, zoophilia, zoosadism, bestiality, torture, possession of child and exploitive material. Now, I'd not seen that possession of child. Fuck knows what this is about, mate. Fuck knows what this is about, right? But this dude is... Right, let's just see what it says on the thing. Right. He's been sentenced 10 years and 5 months in prison for crimes including bestiality, animal cruelty, and possessing child abuse material. So maybe they worded it wrong on Wikipedia. Who knows? In a lengthy sentencing, NT, don't know where that is in Australia. No, Tasmania. Fucking don't ask me, mate. I ain't a geographist. A geographer. Sorry, but you've got to put a bit of light on this somewhere because otherwise you go fucking mad, right? A once celebrated zoologist remained expressionless as he was sentenced to 10 years, blah, 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 with a non-parole period of 6 years. So he could be out in 6 years for the rape, torture and murder of dozens of dogs. His sentence was backdated to his arrest in April 2022. He has also been banned for life from purchasing animals and having them on his property. Oh, Britain, this dude, right, I'm sorry if I'm giving spoilers here. This dude first abused an animal. He used to jack off a horse when he was 13. He was sexually abusing horses at the age of 13, right, in the 80s. This dude started abusing animals in the fucking 80s. Like, literally, you'll see, if you've not seen yet, by my irateness, where I'm going with this really fucking quickly. right? This is not the usual content that I spout out, but it ties in to the usual content that I spout out, if you see my drift. Well, not the overthrowing the patriarchy, but it does tie in with that as well. Everything fucking does, right? Britton has been on remand at the Darwin Correctional Centre since his arrest and has faced multiple delays to sentencing since pleading guilty to 60 charges of bestiality, animal cruelty and possessing child abuse material last year. On Thursday afternoon, this was August, I think, in front of a packed gallery in the Northern Territory Supreme Court. Northern Territory, that's what NT means. As Chief Justice Michael Grant detailed what he described as Britain's grotesque and unspeakable crimes against animals, the distress in the courtroom was palpable. Like at previous court appearances, Justice Grant warned that the details had the potential to cause nervous shock or some other adverse physiological reactions and excused court officers. This Christmas, what can I do? Although I'm loath to do so, given the gross depravity and perversity in your actions, it is necessary for the purpose of sentencing you to provide some generally representative detail and description of the offending conduct. So did they not have a jury that listened to this old shit? While Adam Britton marketed himself as an acclaimed crocodile expert, here we go, and researcher, appearing in National Geographic and in documentaries alongside David Attenborough, he concealed a disturbing double life, systematically torturing animals for years. Britton sourced 42 dogs from online classifieds giant Gumtree between 20 and 2022, promising dog owners who were often reluctantly giving their pets away due to travel or work commitments that he would give them a good home. He then filmed himself twocking, as I call it, and unaliving them in a shipping container he called his torture room on his rural property on the outskirts of Darwin. You took photographs of the dogs prior to torturing and murdering them and subsequently sent those photographs to the former owners as part of communicating false narratives that the dogs were thriving in their new environment, Justice Grant said. On the free messenger service Telegram, Britton discussed his kill count and uploaded videos of his murders under the pseudonyms Monster and Cerberus. Justice Grant said Britton's communications with other users on Telegram incited violence and said it was manifestly clear that he derived perverse pleasure and excitement from the suffering of these animals. In a letter written from prison and read aloud in court by his lawyer, Britton said he took full responsibility for the demeaning crimes inflicted on dogs. I deeply regret the pain and trauma that I caused innocent families and consequently to my family, friends and members of the community affected, he wrote. But fuck pardon the pun. Like, no fucking remorse, just, I let you all down, I'm truly sorry. I now acknowledge that I've been fighting a rare paraphilic disorder for much of my life. And that shame, and since the age of 13, this will be. Right? Since the age of 13. And that shame and fear prevented me from seeking the proper help I needed. Britton wrote that he would seek long-term treatment and asked that his family be given the space they deserve to heal. Yes, they do deserve the space to heal. He does not deserve the space to breathe fucking air. They were not aware or involved in any way, he wrote. Despite the letter in handing down his sentence, Justice Grant said he was not satisfied that Britton showed any genuine remorse, and you can see that from what he's fucking said, and accepted the Crown's view that Britton's prominent diagnosis was zoosadism. You used weapons extensively in the course of your activity, Justice Grant said. As the Crown has submitted, the sheer and unalloyed pleasure that you derive from inflicting this torture is sickeningly evident. In 2022, new legislation was introduced in the Northern Territory that increased penalties for animal cruelty, increasing the maximum for aggravated cruelty against animals to 5 years imprisonment. However, Britain's offending predated the commencement of that legislation, when the maximum penalty was 2 years for the charge. Outside of court, animal activists were visibly upset as they held signs calling Britton a psychopath and zoo sadist. Call him. Said the sentence was pathetically weak. Yes. Now, right, okay. Well, there's not really saying that much on there. Right. So this dude, let's see what it says on the Wikipedia, right? So they're like, you'll notice in the media they're saying that this dude, and this dude was a bad dude. He started sexually abusing animals at the age of 13. He's the same age as me. They think he's born circa 1971, it says on the Wikipedia, circa 1971. So he's my age, right? So I was 13 in the mid-80s. So in the mid-80s, this dude started sexually abusing animals. And it's like, literally, it says on the Wikipedia that he started, is basically what they've done him for is from 2014 onwards, right? Now they're saying that's when he started offending, was in 20. Fuck off. You know what I mean? It's like, like, where was Jesus? And, like, his whole life sort of thing, 30 years disappearing. It's like, this dude, right, started abusing animals at the age of 13. I'm sorry, I'm not smiling because of that. I'm smiling because of the fact that after this guy started abusing animals, right, years into it, he got a job at the BBC. Fucking dude used to work at Auntie Beeb. What a fucking shocker. Do you know what I mean? And it says on the Wikipedia that there was a suppression order against his name. So in 2022, he'd been arrested for it, right? Let's see. Right. Criminal history. Britton started offending in 2014 and was arrested in September 2022. There was a suppression order on his name until he pleaded guilty in September 2023. So if he'd not pled guilty and he'd have got away with it, you wouldn't have even known. And he'd still be fucking being paid. He's worked for National Geographic. He's worked with David fucking Attenborough. He's presented a BBC show. Now, does this not remind you, and I ain't saying, and I have held my hands up this whole time, the top sports presenter who was arrested this year and his home searched on suspicion of twocking a 10-year-old girl on multiple occasions, allegedly, and he has also paid for gagging orders. So this guy, if he's found guilty, it'll be just this all over again. This guy was allowed to go about fucking allowing his name to be Google searched as, oh look, he's one step away from fucking Steve Irwin. Look, he's all about animals. Yeah, he was all about animals, but again, in the news article, they're just downplaying the kiddie fiddling bit. We don't know. And like on this video that I watched yesterday on YouTube, where I first heard of this, they said like, oh, well, we don't know. Nobody knows about the child. All we can say is that he was found with child imagery. But you're telling me that this guy started out at the age of 13 sexually abusing animals, and we've gone to 50 in his mid-50s and he's never touched a kid. But he keeps all, like, there is so much more to this, but do you know what I mean? He's paid by somebody, man. And this guy had a shipping container in his back garden solely dedicated to the torture, rape and murder of animals. And obviously I can't come out and say, oh, all I'm saying is that it just looks a bit weird that he's only, that at the age of 53 or over in his mid-50s, he's found to be guilty of murdering dozens of animals, taking their lives and getting sexual pleasure from taking lives, and yet he just faps off to kiddie porn, but he's never actually gone that far when he's got away with abusing animals in a position of ultimate animal trust. The guy was a TV professional on animals. That was his job. That was the job that he got way after he'd started abusing animals. Don't even tell me that he was not abusing animals all the way down there. And what if it was kids as well? If he had gagging orders out on his fucking name until he was sent down and he could do so no more, there'll be other things. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, like, I'm sorry, like, to point out this absolute sicko, but how many more people attached to the British Broadcasting Corporation, the Boy Buggers Corporation, how many people tied to the BBC have to get fucking arrested and charged with sexual deviancy before the BBC is investigated in a broad fucking swoop? Because all of these people, this twat, Hugh Edwards, like, literally in the entertainment industry, people are protected. P. Diddy proves that, because these people mix with other people, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, lift a trouser leg, bugger a kid, kill a dog. Like these people all frequent the same circles. Don't even tell me that don't even tell me that it's fucking coincidence. It can't be coincidence. It happens too often. Look at the bloody statue at the front of the Beeb that bloke tried to fucking knock down years ago, of a kid giving a bloke a blowjob on the BBC. And yet every time it comes out, it's like, oh, poor old Beeb. Oh, they've been going. No, mate, it's intrinsic in their fucking fabric, in the very fabric of their existence, in their very makeup. From the higher ups down, investigate them all. How many people came out when Jimmy Savile was outed as everything that Jimmy said? The only thing that Jimmy Savile didn't do was bugger a dog. Do you know what I mean? He went for the dead, he went for the elderly, he went for the disabled, he went for the underage. He'd fuck anything with or without a pulse to get himself off. And then he came out, that's all coming out. Oh, yeah. Oh, look how awful he is. And this dude has just carried on fucking going. And the other guys. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's ever done. You know, Jimmy Savile was a sicko, yes, and everybody came out and said, "Oh yeah, well, to be fair, it was an open secret." Philip Schofield being a bumder was an open secret. You know what I mean? These people protect each other. The whole entertainment industry globally. You know, I'm not saying that I believe all the shit that's going to do. Don't even mention her, carry on. Don't even mention her. Oh, I used to love that lady. But literally, we're just, it's just, this person gets dropped. This person gets dropped over there. And then it's, look over there. Look what they've done. Ain't they a bastard? Never mind all the people who were in it with him. Remember, this guy was part of a global network. I don't think that I got down to that fucking part on Wikipedia, but he was part of a global network of animal abusers and paedophiles. Where's the rest of them? Do you mean? Take them all down, reduce his sentence. Actually, no, don't reduce his sentence, because just saying, right, you're not allowed to own a dog when this guy can't keep his hands off animals and hasn't done from the age of 13, 40 years. He's been abusing animals for 40 years. And after he started doing that, he got qualified in looking after animals. You know, it's like fucking that whole thing that people do. It's like, look at me. I'm so charitable. I'm so good. And it's a complete fucking mask. Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? Complete fucking mask. It's like, we're telling you what we do. Look, we're fantastic. Comic relief. How much of that fucking money went to funding wars? Honestly, the world's on its arse. On its head. And on its arse. It's kind of rolling exponentially towards fucking Armageddon. I can't, like, literally, I've never seen anything like this, and it's just made me go like, shit like that exists too. You mean, don't tell me Jimmy Savile is the only fucking necrophiliac in the UK or on the planet. It's just that these people get in their little groups and everybody protects themselves. That's in your fucking code. You know, if it McCann. Do you know what I mean? Protect the brother, mate. You will lie in a court of law if you are a part of that brotherhood. You will lie in a court of law to save your brother. It is part of the code. And anybody who doesn't fulfill that code ends up hanging from fucking a bridge on the Thames. Sorry, I know I'm getting irate, but how can you not with this particular subject matter? But when I was watching this video yesterday, I'm sitting there, just a feeling of revulsion and sickness and just not being able to comprehend the mindset. And then when they said he used to work for the BBC, it was just like, plop. That was a penny dropping, by the way. It's like literally fucking sick on it. And it's only just beginning, because let's not forget, and like I say, I'm not saying that this person works for the BBC, but the top sports presenter who's paid for gagging orders to keep his name out of it, who is alleged to have, with a 10-year-old girl on multiple occasions and had his house searched, is still being paid, still working, whatever TV channel is on. They, knowing that that's what this guy is alleged to have done, are giving him a paycheck. So what channel do you reckon it could be? We all know who I think it is. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this. I'm sorry that it's been a really bad one, but I couldn't not have a say on this. Not when they said that he works at the BBC. It's like, no, okay, you've got a duty. You've got a duty of care to keep up on the things that I am keeping up on. And this is a running theme. Pedos in television is a running theme that I've had on the go for at least a year now. So I had to have my point on it, and I'm sorry if I've upset anybody. But if you make it to the end, I owe you a bevy, and probably a strong one if you've made it till the end. I'm sorry for making you sit through it, but if you did, you have my utmost respect, honestly. Thank you for being here. Please come back, and never forget that I love you all. Actually, I'll do that again in a minute. Just remember, right, that there are these bastards on this planet, but the majority of us are good. The majority of us have nothing to worry about in the grand scheme of things. Let's just say, for example, that there was going to be a great sort of a purge of entities, souls. It's say if, like, occasionally the universe just does a recycling of unwanted souls, you're good. The majority of us are good, and we're sound, right? These bastards, however, don't deserve to don't deserve to see sunshine, and they don't deserve to smell flowers, and they certainly don't deserve to have the devotion of an animal. Fuck 'em. You know, like, get the horse, tie him down, say, like, right, okay, you want to sexually abuse him? Here you go. Come on. In you come, love. Sugar lumps up his arse, off you fucking. But I know that, like, the majority of us are good. Keep your vibes high. There are going to be more stories like this coming out over the next few years, because there is something happening. There is an awakening of sorts. And they will come to light. They will be found. This dude was found because he got one of his personal dog leashes that said where he lived on it in the background of one of these videos that he was selling online or sharing with other animal enthusiasts. And that's how they caught him. But the universe sees everything, mate. You'll all come down. Eventually, you'll all fucking come down. And if not, you still got to meet your bleeding maker, mate. You're fucked. Anyways, yeah. Again, thank you for being there. Please come back and never forget that I love you all, except for the pedos. Bye.